What's your experience been with sort of, with your diagnosis and things like that? When you found out, how did you cope?
When I found out, I was surprised in this day and age of the lack of information for me personally that was given to me with my diagnosis. The whole world generally thinks of Parkinson's as an old person's disease.
Yeah.
And so I was determined to spread the word that it's not. And so I set up a YouTube page and became an ambassador for a Parkinson's charity and did various things which helped me to meet loads of people, find out information, know that I wasn't alone. Was that sort of the same for you?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of when I first got diagnosed, mine was just I just literally got told in a meeting with the doctor and nurse and my parents, and so yeah, I feel like.
How old were you when you?
29 when I was diagnosed.
Oh my gosh!
I kind of expected it because actually, weirdly, at the time I was working for an agency that was designing the Parkinson's UK website, so we've been doing all this stuff.
So strange,
isn't it? And they'd given us all these things to try to see how it felt to have Parkinson's, like sort of like corsets and things like that constricted you and things that made your arm shake. And so we were trying all these things, and I thought, I think I've got this anyway, like my hand's shaking and stuff. So mine was actually more of a relief when I got diagnosed, but similarly, I didn't want to join the groups and stuff. I felt very much like I didn't have Parkinson's yet. I didn't feel like I was ready.
Yeah.
And then I suddenly,
which is fair enough. Yeah. At 29. Yeah.
I still don't think I'd really sort of go to the more formal things. I tend to kind of find stuff that feels a bit more casual. My Parkinson's changed a lot over the last couple of years. I feel like it's something very quickly sort of caught up with me in the last few years, and there's definitely feeling a lot more like it's making my life a bit more difficult. And if you have one appointment per year, you go into the session, you don't want to be as rubbish as you were last time. So they'll say to you, how are you doing? You're like, oh, great, I'm fine. Everything's brilliant.
So every British, time, isn't it?
Every time. And then I just think to myself, I need to be more honest because actually I'm not getting the care I need.
Yeah, I'm fine. Can't you tell?
It's crazy. So, Vicky, have you had the same consultant since you were diagnosed?
I have had the same neurologist, but I'll tell you something in terms of advocacy. Going back to when I received the letter, and I was quite surprised that there was no support. So I did bring this up because I thought, well, I ought to mention it, that maybe it might be useful when a letter goes out, if even just like, here are some websites you can contact for support and help, particularly if it's young onset, because it is very specific. And I didn't want it to seem like I was criticising, and I said it in a nice way, but it was definitely taken as we give out leaflets. And yeah, it wasn't seen as me being helpful. What about you? Because I mean, you have, well, we're meant to have one meeting a year, which is just, I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think often you don't sort of, I tend to turn up to mine. I think my consultant thinks I'm crazy because I tend to turn up to mine with tents and stuff. I'm always going somewhere doing something afterwards. And I'm trying to say to him that I'm struggling. And then there's me with like a tent and a sleeping bag and stuff because I'm going off for a weekend at a festival or something. But
yeah, you need to ditch the tent, Emma.
Yeah. But I think the interesting thing is the fact that actually I had to swap my consultant because I have neck problems. So basically my neck has dropped and I have to wear a neck brace most of the time. And actually, I didn't trust my old consultant anymore. I didn't trust him to give me the care and things anymore. So actually, I moved to one that I felt I trusted a lot better. And I possibly see him a lot less because actually he's very in demand. But actually, I feel like the time I get with him is much more beneficial.
Yeah.
And actually, I've had to really, Mum and I always take my mum with me, even though I'm supposed to be growing up. I take my mum, and because she's great at listening to things I don't hear because I'm too scared. And actually, we've done things like we've taken photos throughout the last 5 years of my neck being like this. So we've got like a scale we can show people. And actually, I think a lot of the time, making your own documentation and kind of monitoring your own condition is something we have to do. Because if you just have that one appointment per year, you need that time to be like snappy gold dust. It needs to be like, the best you can get out of that session because you don't get another one anytime soon. So it's difficult.
That's a really good point, actually. And I was given some advice, particularly those to recently diagnosed, that people assume that they can't get another consultant, and actually you can get whoever you want. So you can request through the National Health, and also you can ask for a Parkinson's nurse. Although I've asked for a Parkinson's nurse and I still haven't had one.
I had one for the first chunk of time. She was actually brilliant. She was great, and I've got a new one now. But yeah, I think Parkinson's nurses are completely misunderestimated, whatever the word is.
Yeah, people don't know about them unless you sort of ask for them.
If you're interested in finding out more about Parkinson's, subscribe for a new video every Thursday.